Today is Wednesday, July 17th, 2019. My name is Edna Sussman. I'm a reference librarian at the Half Hollow Hills Community Library in Dix Hills, New York, Long Island. We're interviewing James Joseph Carbone, a World War II Army Air Corps veteran, here at the Long Island State Veterans Home in Stony Brook, New York. Thank you so much for your service, Jimmy. We all really appreciate you participating in our project. We're doing this as part of the library's Veterans Testimonial Project and in collaboration with the Library of Congress's Veterans History Project. So thank you so much.
I appreciate the honor that you've given me now, but my opinion, I don't need no thanks. We did it to go overseas so they don't come to the United States.
Well,
I've
thank
seen
you.
a lot of bad things in Europe. Matter of fact, my grandmother, I found out, was killed with a bomb from the United States
When was that?
during the war.
World War I?
Yes.
Wow.
No, World War II.
World War II.
Yes, and that made me feel all the more that we went there.
Wow. Where was she at the time?
She was at home in her building that she lived in. We were from Italy.
Oh, in Italy.
Yes, That was my mother's mother.
So, Jimmy, where and when were you born?
July 18th, 24, in the Bronx, New York.
Tomorrow. Happy birthday tomorrow.
Thank you.
And who were your parents and their occupations?
Well,
Their names and
My mother-
occupations.
my mother was Rose, and my father was John. That when he was a young man, he went back to Europe and cultured my mother and married her, and told me he was a businessman from New York. So he was allowed to marry her.
Oh,
But when she came to New York, she found out he was an Iceman, which all tradition of the Italians were.
really?
But the only sad thing that he died at 46 years old with the 6 children.
Wow. How was he in service or
No,
ill?
he
Or?
was just ill.
Oh.
At that time, he said he died of pneumonia, which today is not heard of,
Right.
but it happened that time.
How old were you at the time?
I was 12.
12.
I was a little sister, 4 years old,
Okay.
and then we had,
Yeah, what were the names of your siblings and how old?
my oldest brother was John, and my sister was Lucy, and Teddy, and Frankie. We all lived above 90.
Wow.
My last brother, younger than me, older than me, was 94 when he died, 95 when he died, 2 years last year.
Wow.
But we happened to, for something,
Good genes.
had good genes that
Yeah.
made us all live this long.
Yeah.
And
What were your sisters' names?
Lucy and Connie. Connie was the little one. And Lucy died 97.
Oh.
But my poor little sister died at 50, but she died of something in the stomach,
Oh.
cancer.
Did any of them serve in the military? Did any?
Yeah, I had 2 brothers in the Navy.
Were they in the same time as you?
Yes, they were before me,
Before you?
yeah.
But
But my oldest brother had something wrong with his ear, he couldn't do it.
so they were also in World War II?
Yes, they both were on there too. And the one brother in the Pacific, I found out where he was, and I went to see him on the ship
Did you?
and asked, can I go with you? And he asked the captain, he says, okay. And I went with them for 4 days
Oh.
in the Navy.
Were you in the service already at that time?
Pardon me?
You were in the service already?
Yes, I was still in, so I got permission from my CEO to go see him. But the captain says, you better tell your brother to leave, we're going through minefields tomorrow. So that's all I had to hear. But there was planes on shore that I can got back to my squadron.
Wow. Did you see him again while you were over there?
No, his ship was hit.
Oh.
but he went home on a furlough.
Oh. And did he go back to serve, or?
He did come back, but he came and found out where I was in the Philippines, and I met him there.
So, Jimmy, what were you doing before you entered the service?
Well, I did a few things. I was a milkman in the city, and I worked for a welding department.
The what?
A welding department that delivered oxygen and acetylene. But that was before lift gates.
Oh.
I lived acetylene and oxygen. But I did a lot of few things.
So, you served in the Army Air Corps. Did you enlist, or were you drafted? Or?
Well, I was actually drafted, but I had joined the Navy at 17.
Oh.
But I needed my mother's permission. But my sister seen the papers and tore them up.
Oh.
So I went to the draft board. They said, well, we'll classify you. I said, well, can you classify me now? And they did send me for a physical, and I went in.
Wait, but you were 17?
No, I was 18 by
were,
then.
Oh, I see.
I had to wait until 18 then.
Okay. How did your mom feel about, your brother was already in, right?
Well, I know, but I guess they had no choice because I wanted to go in.
Why did you choose first you chose the Navy, and then why did you want the Navy?
I was young. I used to belong to a Navy cadet organization when I was young. So I thought I would know what to do when I got into the Navy.
Oh, I see.
But it couldn't happen.
And then, so you didn't have the choice of the Army Air Corps, or did you pick that after?
No, I was drafted and put into the Air Corps.
Yeah.
And that was basic training was Air Corps training station.
And where was the basic training?
In Jefferson Barracks, Missouri.
Missouri. How was that?
Very well. That was
Hi. You want a meeting yet?
No, I'm interviewing him.
That was only a month's training. Then they sent me to North Carolina, and I was overseas.
What was the basic training like? How was it adjusting to all that?
Well, it wasn't too bad because, like I say, I was training as a boy in Sea Scouts, and that's what we did train.
What is that, Sea Scout?
It's like a Boy Scout, but
I
Navy.
see. Oh, I see.
It's Sea Scouts, they call it.
Okay.
Yeah, and that helped me in the training. And it was but they didn't. It was a fast training.
How long?
Launching, shooting. But it was only a month and it was finished.
Really, just a month?
That's
How was it adjusting to military life, the food and the barracks?
But once I got into the military life, I can say I was lucky to get. Matter of fact, my first reunion, I told my exec, I want to thank him. He says, for what? To take care of our children. They were maybe 30 years old.
Yeah.
But they kept us going for 3 years combat.
Wow.
And they made us, said, don't worry about it, they're taken care of.
Oh, do you remember your instructors at all? What were they like for basic?
Basic.
Your instructors?
I guess they were normal, you know.
Okay.
But
Did you get any specialized training?
no specialized training. No.
So after a month of basic training, then what happened?
They sent us to North Carolina to join an organization to get a furlough and pass. But when we got there, it says there's no furloughs or passes. We're set to go overseas.
Wow.
And I asked them how long. They said, well, 3 months we were training to go overseas. But we're not to call our families and tell them
Why?
that we're going overseas.
Oh my.
So it was against the law to do that.
So they didn't know where you were going?
No one, for the next 2.5 years, my parents didn't know where I was.
Really?
because you're not allowed. Matter of fact, if you write a letter, you had to leave it unsealed, because it's possible that the intelligence may open it and read it. And if they find out that you told them where you are, you got court-martialed.
Wow.
It was very strict.
I guess there was a security thing. I mean,
We, as so young, I guess we were afraid.
sure.
Well, then we realized they had, if you tell your family told somebody, and then it's bad.
It's bad, yeah.
That they can find out where you were.
Sure.
So,
Wow. So adapting to military life, once you left the States, where did they send you?
well, they sent us to San Francisco to get on a troop ship, but the troop ship happened to be a converted Dutch freighter in a cargo hold.
Oh,
And we were on that ship for 30 days
wow.
to get to an island that was near New Zealand.
How many of you, about?
Oh, this could have been about 4,000 or 5,000 on that ship. But you'll have to live in the hole.
Gee. How was it? Did you have like barracks on the ship, or
No.
how did you sleep?
In the cargo hold, they had just tanks, bunks
Bunks.
hanging on both sides of the room.
Wow.
And,
Did you also eat down there?
yeah, well, most of the time we try and sleep on board,
On the deck?
on the deck,
Why?
if you had room.
Oh. It was cooler, or
But that was
what?
pretty rough time to get back down there.
How was the food?
It was once a week, once a day, that if you got to it, so many people on the ship.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow. You didn't have 3 square meals a day?
yeah, that's all. Well, you couldn't, there's so many that you're free by the time you get it. It's 2, 3, 4 hours before you get the next one.
Were you hungry?
No, I didn't think of it, I guess.
Wow. So what did you do on the ship? Was there training while you were on the
No,
ship?
nothing.
Nothing.
Just laying around,
Wow.
just hoping, didn't know where you're going.
So you didn't know even on the ship where you were going.
No.
So you arrived.
They wouldn't tell us. I mean, I guess the officers knew what was going on.
When was this, in 1943?
Pardon me?
When was this? 1943?
43.
What?
March of 43.
March.
Yeah.
So once you arrived in New Zealand, then what happened?
Well, then we met our planes. See, our planes went without us because they had to have enough fuel to get the planes there. Then we met them in North Carolina, in New Zealand. No, not New Zealand. The island near New Zealand, and we met up with the planes.
Australia?
Yeah,
In Australia?
yeah, close to Australia.
Uh-huh.
New Zealand is
Right.
the state. And then we met up, and then from then on, we went to different places to combat.
So
But our job was to pick up wounded and bring them to hospitals. Matter of fact, in 1B, a Marine happened to say the island he was picked up and bring to hospital, and that's the island we brought them to. And I have pictures of it I gave his son, that he could have been on the plane.
wow.
Yeah.
So were you a medic, or
No, just transported.
did you fly the planes, or what was your role?
No, my job was transportation. But anything we had didn't mean anything, because when they needed somebody on a plane that was overloaded, we went with them. A cook was sick, we pulled in. Everybody did everything. I used to run the movies,
Wow.
but we were so close. Anything that's short, everybody filled in.
So where were you actually, were you stationed somewhere more permanent?
No, it was throughout the whole Pacific. We may have been for different islands.
Huh.
Every 2 or 3 months, a different island,
Really?
different campaign.
Wow.
As they took over the islands, we've been there.
So once you picked up the wounded soldiers?
Wounded soldiers and Marines and everything.
Oh.
Brought them to a hospice ship that was in some island.
Oh, I see. A hospital ship.
Yeah, a hospital ship. But this hospital ship was equipped just like the biggest hospital in New York.
Wow.
They did everything. But they took the worst home, amputees and
They sent them home?
Yeah, because it took a long time to get home from the Pacific. So they prepared them and prepared the families what they were coming home to.
That must have been really difficult to see all these men injured.
Well, it all got used to it because one Marine was saying his ankle didn't hurt, he didn't feel it, but I said no, they got it doped up till they go to the hospital ship, they'll take care of you. But I knew they were going to amputate it, so I got different things I got used.
You got used to giving encouragement.
Like my son says, I'm going to come here, they're going to sleep bed. I says, I seen the worst.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
someone in bed can't talk. It's nothing compared to what I seen. Amputees, no arms.
Wow.
Were
you ever injured yourself?
No, never. I was lucky.
Good, lucky, very lucky. So, what are some memories of when you served abroad? Where did you go, and what else happened?
Well, it was different islands, but Guadalcanal was the worst. But my opinion, it shouldn't happen that much because the Navy admirals were telling the generals, let's bomb the shoreline. The guns on these big ships could hit the island. But they said, no, we're going in. So they went in and they got slaughtered because the Japanese were waiting for them.
Now, where were you staying when this all was going on?
No, we were on a different island, somewhere down south, quite south, because as the ships would take the islands, that's when we moved up, taking the wounded.
Did the plane you were ever in, did it ever get fired on?
Yes, well, the C-47s had to fly low over treetops to find out where everything is, because it's all jungle. They call it the Jungle Air Force, to find anything. And they could shoot anything at you. But the ones I was on, I was pretty lucky.
I mean, was your plane identified as a medical plane? As like a hospital plane?
Well, it's called troop carrier.
But could you tell that from the outside of the plane that it was a medical
just
plane?
C-47.
Oh.
That's all the transports they had then.
Oh, I see.
It's only C-47s.
No, I thought.
There's nothing.
Wow.
Just C-47s.
I thought maybe if they could see it was a medical plane, they wouldn't have fired.
No.
It wasn't identified.
Wouldn't make any difference.
No. So what kind of, were you ever close to any combat and witnessed?
Well, there was one time when USO trophies come in, CO asked me to find places for them to sleep and stuff, which I did.
Where were you then?
That was in Malibu Island, in Hawaii.
In the Pacific?
Yeah. And this USO came in, I found it. But when it happened, we went to the other side of the island.
You just have to speak up.
The other side of the island, so I drove the whole troop. But as they were entertaining, the last act was this man, but he liked to be alcoholic. He liked to drink. When the show was over, she says, Jimmy, go get George. But when I went to a mess hall where he was, I guess the fellas thought they were doing a favor, giving him liquor. But he was out. I put him on the truck to get home. And she says, where is he? I says, he can't make it. But he's last. I says, make a nice finale. interview. Okay. Lucky they did, because when I sent them home, I said, I'll stay to see if you forgot anything. After I see nothing, I started back. 10 minutes later, a Japanese plane happened to come in that they didn't expect. Dropped 3 bombs on the mess hall where everybody was sitting, and 2 planes they got. Now, if that boy didn't get sick, there would have been at least 200 gone.
Wow.
I mean, that was
Wow. That was close.
some closest.
Yeah. Wow. Must have been an awful noise too. I mean,
know.
loud, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was an island that was taken, it had lights on and everything, but there was a fighter group. But the planes that were left took off. After 10 minutes they were out after them. They said they couldn't come from far because, and I don't know what happened after that, whether they got them or not, but they really went after them.
Wow.
But they come up from the mountain, no radar, and did a job.
Wow.
That was the most experienced part I ever.
Were there any soldiers injured or hurt badly in that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Well, like I say, I'm lucky.
You're very lucky. Where else did you? What other places when you were on the islands? What other experiences did you have?
Well, most experiences, jungle. Mosquitoes, jungle rot. I mean,
Did you have to get a malaria shot? Did they have that then?
the time I was waiting to go home, I also got one. So I got a malaria. Not too bad, but bad. Not bad enough to get anything when I got home.
Oh.
It didn't interfere with my job and it.
Oh, good. Must have been very hot there.
Yes, it was.
Very hot.
But rainy season was bad. You got 3 months of rain
Ooh.
constantly.
How do you work in
Mud.
that? I mean,
But
is that's even dangerous for planes to fly in that,
well,
right?
they try to. What they did is they dispatched all our planes from different places that needed them. That's why. I mean, we had 5 squadrons, so they did. One general had a plane for himself.
Had a what?
Had a plane for himself
Oh.
to do what he wants with it.
How many soldiers would fit on a plane?
I mean, if you transport them,
Yeah, if you're going in to rescue, to transport some
Well-
injured.
you can have at least 8 to 10 litters on stretchers.
Uh-huh.
You can put them. That's about all.
So how many of people like you helping would be on the plane?
Well, on the plane it's actually a pilot, 2 pilots, a navigator, a radio man, and a crew chief, they call that. But the most important was the navigator. He got you where you want to go and he got you home. But yet before that, they had aerial squadrons that took pictures that went out first. But they can be high in the air and take pictures. And he would give it to the crew, the navigator, and he would get you there and back. He was more, I think he was more important than the pilots.
How long did it take you to get to picking up injured
Well,
soldiers?
It could be any time, really. No particular time.
I mean,
Yeah.
the flight itself, and then where did you bring them to the hospital ship? How far was that?
That was, well, a good hour away, because this hospital ship had to be an island that they could dock on. So the ambulances could go and put them on and off. But they're lucky they had that hospital ship. Because
Very, yeah. Must have been huge.
for the old,
It was big? Big.
for all the amputees, I mean, I guess they got them ready to go home.
To go home. What kind of friendships and camaraderie did you develop while you were in the service?
Self-discipline. And I realized that you shouldn't worry because it'll work out.
You weren't afraid?
No, I wasn't. Well, I guess the age. It was a family, but you're young. But I realize now it's really terrible why this government has to send National Guard overseas with families. I think that's most terrible. They should have never did away with the draft.
Huh.
All 18 should go into the draft. Mm-hmm. I know experience. I have two grandchildren that I wish they went into service. They're so angry, no life living, no schooling. So,
did any of your children serve in the military?
No.
No.
No, as I say, it's just, if they were 18, they would have got straightened out. They got straightened out later on, but it was too late. But not only that, we would have had a reserved army.
Yeah.
We had a reserved army, and nobody would have started with us. But the worst thing I say is the United Nations they made. It was supposed to protect everybody, all little countries. That's why I say Vietnam and Korea should have never happened. Why the United States let it happen?
Yeah.
We should have minded our own business. Why? I don't know.
Yeah.
No, but I say every college people that come here interview, I just find out who you're voting for, what they stand for.
That's very good advice. I don't think...
I said, not only that, you start with your school board, your executive. Who are they? I asked them, they don't even know what it is. But those are the people that will be congressmen at one time, and senators.
Sure.
But
Hi. Are you going to be finishing up soon? Because we have a meeting at 11 o'clock.
Oh, Michelle didn't tell me that. We're only like halfway done.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Never mind.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry. No, it's not at all. Michelle didn't tell me there was a
Well,
time.
they should have called me earlier.
Okay, so how did you stay in touch with family and friends back home?
Oh, my son's come.
No, when you were in the war.
Oh, I couldn't. You send a letter.
Yeah.
But it's only a postcard. I mean, a number at the address. It's just a number that when they send it, then they would know where you are.
Oh.
See,
But so you wrote, and did you get letters back?
You write, yes, back and forth. Yeah.
Okay.
But that's it. You can tell them what you were doing.
What you're doing, right. Now, where were you when the war ended, Jimmy?
In the Philippines.
The Philippines.
Yeah.
And
We eliminated the Philippines. And like I say, the war was over, but still they had no transportation for us.
so tell me about that. How long did it till you got to go home?
3 months. 3 months after the war.
And what did you do during those 3 months?
Just nothing. Just hang around and really waited. And that was the hardest part of the
Really?
war.
How did you return home? How? On what type of vehicle?
Well, they took us on a Navy ship that took 17 days to get home because it was close.
Wow. That's still enough time.
They put you on a train, but when you got to San Francisco, you were just another GI, and that's it. Put you on a train to go back to Fort Dix, got the discharge, and that was it.
Oh.
Goodbye.
Okay.
Thank you.
How were you received by your family and friends when you got home?
Good. Yeah, that was good.
It was good?
Yeah, that was my sister. Oh, well. But the mistake is they should have got apartments, but they didn't.
Oh. So how was it readjusting to civilian life?
It didn't. I just went back in. No.
And what did you start working again, or what did you
When I
do?
was 17, you were allowed to get your working papers. So I got them instead of going to school. I finished just middle school, then I went to construction school. But I went to work in the garment center.
Once you got back?
No,
Oh,
before.
Before.
For $11 a week for 6 days.
Wow.
When I got back, they said, you better go back to work. So I went back to work. They said, well, we can't hire you, but if you're willing to work for $25 a week, and to my mind, I said that I had double
Yeah.
what I was making. Not knowing she should have given me $35 because the vets were getting $20 a week for 52 weeks. They call it 52-week club
Uh-huh.
for that work. So when I went to apply for it, they said, no, you're working, you can't get it.
Oh.
So I continued that.
So you stayed in the garment district?
Yeah, but I was lucky. I had a brother in the milk business. I became a milkman.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so that was a good job.
Now, did you remain in contact with any of your fellow veterans?
All the time.
That's great.
All the time. Like I say, almost 25 reunions throughout the United States. Then the newsletter was great. We found out where we were, people were.
So of your unit, you had all these reunions and a number of people came?
Yeah.
Very nice.
Like I say, I'm trying, with the big list, find out if anyone here. But they had to all be in the New York State area. The old Jersey, I don't look out.
Yeah, it's far.
Yeah.
So once you separated from the military, did you join any veterans organizations?
Yes, I joined American Legion and the WW2, life members on both of them.
Nice. Wow.
Besides that, we had a senior center in East Meadow that I belonged to.
Oh, nice.
Very good. We used to go on trips together and everything.
Nice. Once when you started working then as a milkman, how long did you do that for the rest of your career, or
No,
did you go back to school?
and I had someone in the welding department, welding supply company, that could drive a truck and get a little more money than, and so
How long did you do that?
I did that 3-4 years, I guess, until I got drafted.
Okay, but so once you left the military, you worked again in the garment
Yeah, I
district?
went to the garment center. I should have went, well, it was different. I went to the milk company, but the unions weren't in control anymore, the company. And the welders, the same thing. The unions, you had to go to companies, but they didn't have to hire you.
Okay. So where did you end up working for most of your career?
Well, I went back to the milk company, yeah.
Yeah.
I did, yeah. And then the welding department the rest of the year.
Okay.
But I did a lot of things.
And you got married in the meantime?
Yeah, 48.
1948?
I married 66 years.
Wow.
But being in the military, it kept my marriage together for 66 years. But I had to go through.
Why do you say that?
My in-laws
Oh,
were terrible,
oh.
terrible people. But I guess the military says things will get better, things will get better.
You learned how to deal with it.
And I went to deal with it for 66 years.
And you had a family?
She was a nice lady.
Your wife?
Yeah.
It's a long time, that's nice.
Well, that's why I went on to a lot of cruises and vacations
Nice.
to get her away from her family. Because
Oh.
I know it wasn't her.
How many children did you have?
Two boys.
2 boys.
Yeah.
How do you think your wartime experiences affected your life?
Well, I guess it taught me a lot to overlook that it will turn out right. Even right here. I see things go wrong, some guy. I want to say something, I said, but I better not keep quiet.
Oh.
No, the trouble is, which is bad, If I argue with somebody, it's the nurse's fault. Why did it happen? I can't see that, but that's the way it is. So I turn myself away.
Okay.
I guess service taught me that, and marriage taught me that.
Yeah, compromise and, dealing with it.
That's why I thank them for having me here, really.
Oh,
I mean, that's my feeling. Because where would I be without it? I was living with my son. I was getting sick, worried that he put me away, like I had to do my wife. And I found out about it. But I was lucky to get here.
yeah.
I couldn't walk, but everybody goes through therapy here, regardless what it is.
Oh, that's great.
And they put me back on my feet.
Great.
I guess my legs were strong enough, but they can't be mirrored, but they did it.
Yeah.
I didn't
Great.
want to do it, but they did it.
Great.
About 4 months, they kept going.
So, Jimmy, what are some life lessons you learned from the military?
Well, how to get along. How to get along. Because what it is, it happens. Like I say, it just so happens we had wonderful people. Officers, but they weren't officers. They were just men.
Men. How has your military experience, service, impacted your feelings about war and the military in general?
Well, that's why I say it's terrible. War is terrible, but why they happening again and again? They should have learned. Like I said, especially the UN. They got a big building in New York. They're all living wonderful. All these country people. They got immune. You can't touch them. Costing the city millions of dollars to protect them. But that wasn't made. If a small country started, somebody, they stepped in. But Lebanon stopped it. I don't know why it stopped it. Korea now, they're same families. But why let it happen? Like I say, I tell children, please find out what the world is about in America. Don't worry about Columbus or American history, what's going on.
Right.
And it starts at home.
Yep. It's good advice. Good advice. So any other message you'd like to leave for future generations who might watch this interview?
Well, try and learn from somebody not to let it happen.
War, you mean?
Enjoy yourself.
Oh.
But I say when you get married, I tell young people, now you're one person. Don't let nothing interfere you on both sides. Talk it out. It takes one to keep a marriage together. That's my opinion.
Takes one or two?
It takes one.
One.
To keep a marriage together. Like I had to do. I know from experience. If I was different, I would have divorced her many times. But she did. That's what I didn't. But that's what I teach my children.
Good.
When they get together, please don't argue.
Yeah.
Something happens, talk it out.
Yeah.
Talk it out.
Anything about your service that we haven't discussed that you'd like to add?
Well, the main thing is try not to have that happen again. Let's get government to talk to other government and see what they can do by talking, not experience. But it's the same. That one country always hides another country. They want this, they want that. But everybody has their life. And it's even in the city. I see where any nationality gets together, it's no good. So if some reason happens, I live what I call the United States. All nationalities. But we tell the parents, you talk your language when you go to shopping, it's all American. Which was. I mean, black companies, families I lived with, talked to them. Every nationality. What happened to my wife lived in an Italian neighborhood. When I got there, I couldn't understand. Not on my block, not on my block.
Was she born in Italy, your
No.
wife?
No, she's American. And for some reason, and then any experience I have in different areas, the same thing happened. Too many people together affected everything. Why? I don't know.
Well, Jimmy, thank you. Thank you so much for your service and remembering so much. We really, really appreciate it.
No, that's what I'm saying. We have to find out how to stop all this.
Yeah. Absolutely.
We had to go because they attacked us. But for it, Europe is ashamed they had one country that wanted to take over.
And thanks to you, they didn't.
But he taught the children when they were small. That's what they had to do.
Yeah.
But we don't do that.
Right. Right.
That's what happens.
Thank you. Thank you, Jimmy, very much.
No,
And again, all the best for your birthday tomorrow. Stay well, okay?
and I thank you for having this, and that I can really tell them what it's all about.
Thank you. Yeah, let's put on your hat. Let's see your hat just one more time.
We got this. The reason I keep this is the last reunion we had in North Carolina. They gave us these hats.
Oh, nice.
So if somebody sees it,
Oh, that's nice.
maybe I can get it.
Why does it say, can you hold it up for the
13th
camera?
Air Force.
Hold it up for the camera. Yeah, what's the 13 for?
13th Air Force
Ah,
of the
okay.
Pacific.
Let's see how it looks.
Yeah.
Put it on. Yeah. Great. Okay. Okay.
No, it was a funny thing. After the war,